Imagine a city flourishing one day, then abruptly silenced, not by an invading army, but by an unseen enemy that left behind a chilling testament, a mass grave 1,500 years old, holding evidence of a devastating pandemic. Deep within the Jordan Valley lies the ancient city of Pella, a place that once buzzed with life, serving as a vibrant center of trade and culture in the Byzantine Empire. Today, its ruins tell a story far more profound and unsettling than typical historical accounts. They speak of a sudden, unimaginable catastrophe that swept through its streets and homes, leaving an indelible scar on the land and its people. This isn't just about old bones in the dirt. It's about an entire community overwhelmed, its very existence threatened by one of the deadliest forces in human history, plague. We're going to uncover what archaeologists found here, how they figured out what happened, and what this grim discovery tells us about our own fragile existence. For centuries, Pella thrived, one of the thriving cities of the Byzantine Empire. Its strategic location made it a bustling hub, a crossroads where ideas, goods, and people mingled. Picture busy markets, grand public buildings, homes filled with families, and the steady rhythm of daily life echoing through its streets. This was a city with a future, a place where generations lived, loved, and built their lives. But then something happened. In the mid-6th century, between the years 541 and 542 CE, a shadow fell across the world, reaching even this distant, prosperous city. This was the era of the Justinianic plague, the first major recorded pandemic of bubonic plague, a disease that would reshape empires and decimate populations across Europe, Asia, and Africa. The evidence of this devastation at Pella is stark and unambiguous. As archaeologists dug through layers of history, they unearthed a large pit. It wasn't a neatly organized cemetery, but something far more disturbing, a mass grave, a chaotic tangle of human remains. Dozens of individuals, men, women, and children of all ages, were simply piled together. There was no apparent order, no sign of traditional burial rites, no personal belongings carefully placed with the deceased. This wasn't a community honoring its dead. It was a community barely able to cope with the sheer volume of death. The haphazard arrangement spoke volumes about an emergency, a sudden, catastrophic event that completely overwhelmed the people's ability to bury their loved ones with dignity, or according to tradition. The initial observations were grim. But what was the cause? For a long time, historical accounts of the Justinianic plague remained largely unverified. They spoke of widespread death, but direct archaeological proof linking specific sites to the disease was often scarce. This was where Pella changed everything. Modern science stepped in to answer the chilling question. Scientists carefully extracted ancient DNA from the teeth of several individuals found in the mass grave. Teeth are remarkable time capsules, preserving genetic material for millennia. What they found locked within those ancient dental samples was definitive: the presence of Yersinia pestis, the bacterium responsible for bubonic plague. This wasn't just a theory. It was concrete biological evidence. It confirmed that the very pathogen that ravaged the Byzantine Empire 1,500 years ago was responsible for the deaths of so many people in Pella. This discovery was groundbreaking, a rare and crucial piece of the historical puzzle, proving beyond doubt that the Justinianic plague had reached this seemingly remote city and caused devastating losses. The Justinianic plague wasn't just another illness, it was a global cataclysm. It swept through the world with horrifying speed and virulence, claiming millions of lives across 3 continents. Imagine a disease so deadly, so fast-moving, that entire communities could be devastated in a matter of weeks. Its reach extended far beyond the immediate imperial heartlands, impacting trade routes, destabilizing governments, and forever altering the course of human history. Pella's mass grave provided a chilling, localized snapshot of this wider devastation, illustrating precisely how a single disease could bring a vibrant society to its knees. Before the plague struck, Pella was a testament to Byzantine prosperity. It was a thriving center connected to a vast network of cities, enjoying a period of relative peace and economic growth. Its people lived lives much like ours, albeit in a different time. They farmed, traded, worshipped, raised families, and engaged in the daily struggles and joys of human existence. But then the disease arrived, likely spread through infected fleas carried by rodents along trade routes, inadvertently transported through the very trade routes that had brought the city so much prosperity. The mass grave itself tells a harrowing story of the plague's indiscriminate nature. It didn't spare the young or the old, the rich or the poor. The remains included men, women, and children across the entire spectrum of age, from infants to the elderly. This broad pattern of mortality is consistent with a rapidly spreading and highly lethal epidemic, meaning the plague didn't care who you were. If you were exposed, your chances were grim. This wasn't a disease targeting the weak or isolated. It was a disease capable of overwhelming entire communities, taking down everyone in its path. The sheer number of bodies, piled 3 or 4 bodies deep, speaks to a complete collapse of public health infrastructure, of social norms, and perhaps even of hope. Imagine the terror, the desperation, as death swept through families, neighborhoods, and the entire city. The living would have been too few, too sick, or too fearful to perform proper burials, leading to the desperate measure of placing bodies in a communal pit. It was an emergency of unimaginable scale. The long-term consequences for Pella were devastating and profound. The immediate effect was a dramatic and sudden population decline. The city, once teeming with thousands, would have seen its numbers plummet in a terrifyingly short span of time. This wasn't just a statistic. It was the loss of fathers, mothers, children, artisans, farmers, scholars, the very fabric of the community. Economic activity, the lifeblood of any city, would have come to a complete halt. Trade would have ceased, workshops closed, and agricultural output plummeted as the workforce vanished. The very idea of urban life, as the people of Pella knew it, was irrevocably changed. While Pella was not entirely abandoned, life in some form eventually returned. But its recovery was painstakingly slow. The city never quite regained its former prominence or its bustling population. It became a shadow of its former self, a testament to the enduring scar left by the plague. The memory of such a catastrophic event would have lingered for generations, impacting every aspect of life, from social structures to cultural practices. This archaeological site, with its silent, stacked bones, serves as a chilling monument to the city's sudden downfall and its long, arduous struggle to rebuild. The story of Pella And its mass grave offers us far more than just a historical account. It's a stark reminder of the enduring fragility of human societies in the face of widespread disease. This ancient disaster resonates deeply with other major pandemics throughout history. It mirrors the devastating impact of the Black Death, which centuries later swept across medieval Europe, similarly overwhelming communities and reshaping societies. And even in our modern era, with all our scientific advancements, the echoes of Pella can be heard in the challenges humanity has faced and continues to face with pandemics such as COVID-19. While our circumstances are different, the fundamental human experience of fear, loss, and societal disruption caused by an unseen threat remains profoundly similar. Pella offers invaluable insights into the history and spread of ancient plagues. It shows us how these diseases spread, how they impacted demographic structures, and how they ultimately left lasting marks on the landscape and the memory of humanity. It underscores the critical importance of understanding and preparing for such events, even as we live in a world that often feels far removed from the terrors of the 6th century. The past, in this case, isn't just history. It's a potent lesson, whispered from the dust and bones of Pella, reminding us to never underestimate the power of a tiny, unseen foe. If you found this exploration of history's darkest chapters compelling, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more untold stories from our past.